Thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Carney, and we begin today's News at Noon in Vancouver, where earlier this morning, officers shot and killed a man after police say he pointed a gun at them. It happened around 1 a.m. on Northeast Andreessen Road, just off 4th Plain Boulevard. Vancouver police says several people flagged down an officer saying that a man had pointed a gun at them. After they tracked the suspect down, police say the man did not listen to their commands and that he pointed a gun at them. That's when 4 officers fired shots. The man was taken to the hospital where he later died. No other people were hurt, but a Vancouver police dog was shot in the tail and was taken to an emergency vet for surgery. All 4 officers involved are now on leave. KGW's Blair Best will have more on this story coming up in tonight's later newscasts. Police are also investigating a death outside Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital in Northwest Portland. Officers say they were called to Northwest 22nd and Kearney around 11:30 yesterday morning. That's where they found a woman dead, but there's no word yet on how she died. Police will release her name once the medical examiner determines the cause and is able to notify her family. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is asking for help to find a missing inmate who's been on the run since Saturday. Deputies say this man, 27-year-old Rigoberto Rodriguez Morales, left the county's work release transition center without permission at around 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. He was serving a sentence for menacing and assault and has also escaped custody before, just over a year ago. If you see him, contact the sheriff's office. A former ICU nurse in Medford will be back in court next week to face 44 counts of second-degree assault. She's accused of switching out patients' prescribed fentanyl with tap water when she worked at Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. Last week, Danny Marie Schofield pleaded not guilty to all the charges against her. The judge set her bail at $4 million and denied Schofield a court-appointed attorney. If she does not post bail, she'll go on pretrial probation. Or pardon me, if she does post bail, she'll go on that pretrial probation. All right, in other news this afternoon, Oregon is on the verge of the largest nurses' strike in state history, with 3,000 nurses from 6 different Providence hospitals set to walk off the job tomorrow. KGW's Sydney Dorner sat down with the nurses' union to hear their side of the story.
When I spoke to the Oregon Nurses Association, they said they didn't take this decision to strike lightly, and this came after months of bargaining with Providence. Providence, meanwhile, says they are busy finding replacement workers to provide care during the strike and won't be negotiating until it's over, maintaining that their patients will receive the same level of care. More than 3,000 nurses across 6 different Providence facilities plan to strike this Tuesday. The Oregon Nurses Association gave Providence a 10-day warning, saying they are overworked, understaffed, and underpaid, expressing their desire for more affordable health care after the pandemic took so much out of them.
Their frustrations, there was a lot of that. Folks were really feeling like Providence was not hearing them. The folks at the table were not listening when they said, listen, we need to have these things.
The strike is set to last 3 days, impacting Providence, St. Vincent and Portland, Newburgh, Willamette Falls, Medford, Hood River, and Milwaukee. Whitney Evans is a charge nurse at Providence Medford. She says this strike was a last resort.
I really hope that we're able to come to a deal and get this fair and safe contract before we have to vote for another strike and do this all over again. Once should be more than enough.
Providence says their facilities will remain open during the strike, saying they're putting a pause on negotiations in order to find replacement workers.
Right now, our focus is on ensuring that our patients have access to great care, that we continue to care for our community while our nurses take care of this business.
On Friday, ONA sent a cease and desist letter to Providence, claiming they were violating safe staffing laws, which require a specific patient-to-nurse ratio. Providence says they are working to build out those plans and plan to follow the law as written. Both Providence and ONA encourage people to come in and seek care despite the strike. Now, just to be clear, Providence says all of their sites will remain open and serving patients during this strike. As for the nurses going on strike, they won't be too far from work, saying they will use this time to picket at their respective hospitals. Back to you.
That was Sydney Dorner reporting for us here this afternoon. Meanwhile, some shellfish harvesting is open again along the Oregon coast. It was shut down a few weeks ago after high levels of a biotoxin in locally harvested shellfish started making people sick. The Oregon Department of Agriculture confirms that razor clams can be commercially harvested again between the Washington border and the Yahats River west of Eugene. But officials also say bay clams and mussels are still not safe to harvest anywhere along the Oregon coast. A popular hiking spot in the gorge will stay closed until at least Thursday. Wildlife officials closed the Angels Rest Trail and several others near it last week after a hiker had a face-to-face encounter with a cougar. ODFW searched the area afterwards but wasn't able to find the cougar, and there have not been any other sightings in the gorge since. All right, with that, we take this live look at downtown Portland by way of our Rose City Skycam. Cloudy day out there, temperatures fighting to get into the 60s, Rod Hill. That's all going to change here pretty quickly, but not so fast today.
Can you tell it's raining? It's raining in that view you just showed. Yeah, and I'll get to that in a moment. We are still in this cool weather pattern that moved in over the weekend. It was in the 60s all weekend. As Drew mentioned, we're going to be doing well just to get up into the 60s again out there this afternoon. And while we're not looking at a lot of total rain so far today, we've seen certainly the upper end of shower activity that the forecast would suggest as a possibility. And right there, you can see the shower activity that's moving over downtown Portland. There's snow on the ground up at Timberline. Now it is above freezing. They had fresh snow in the parking lot this morning. Snow levels today 5,000 to 6,000 feet. There's that Rose City camera. And I think if you look carefully at home, you can see the raindrops on the lens. 56 degrees raining out along the Columbia River as well. So we will need some afternoon sun breaks and some decent dry time to develop to have a chance to get up into the mid 60s this afternoon. The rain chance will end tonight, and then the forecast goes all dry, and the 7-day is quickly all about rising temperatures. That's coming up in my complete forecast.
All right, more from Rod here in a few minutes. Right now, we do have a traffic alert for you. Highway 26 will be closed overnight this week between the Cornelius Pass Road and Brookwood Parkway exits. Also, crews can repair some worn out pavement. Traffic will be detoured to Evergreen Parkway to get around that closure. The work is scheduled to last through this Thursday.
He can be ornery at times, especially when it comes to the bandage changes or the socks.
She's talking about that puppy beside her who was found last month in California with severe fourth-degree burns on its feet. The puppy is now in the care of a dog rescue in Silverton. KGW's Devin Haskins spoke with the owner about what exactly happened, although we do have a warning for you here this afternoon. Some of the images in the story may be hard to see.
Come on.
The dogs at Woods Creek Rescue in Silverton keep owner Tammy Lilac busy.
Good job.
Especially this one.
You go down the stairs.
A 4-month-old puppy with floppy ears named Phoenix.
Come on. Come on, Phoenix.
Phoenix is still trying to navigate the simple things.
I know. Come on.
It's been a rough start to his young life.
Boy. He does pretty good.
He came into Tammy's life after she saw him on a Facebook post from a Fresno, California animal shelter. When she initially saw the photo, all bandaged up and needing lots of medical care, she passed him up.
I can't do a medical. I don't do medical out here, and I don't know what changed my mind.
The photo stuck with her, and when she saw it again, this time she changed her mind. That's because the fate of Phoenix had changed.
And sure enough, there was a post with SOS, and I said, without even a second breath, I said, I'll take the burn puppy.
They were gonna put him down.
Yeah. Did you want your breakfast?
Tammy had really never known how bad the burns really were. She had never seen the bandages taken off.
I had them send me his records from there, and I kind of glanced over them a little bit, but didn't really particularly. I was like, pup burn, it can't be that bad.
Except they were. When veterinarians at Oregon State University removed his bandages, she was unprepared for what she was about to see.
It was kind of bad. They were really bad burns.
Fourth-degree burns on all 4 feet, his legs and up his belly. His back feet taking the worst of it.
The back feet, you can't see, no pads.
Tammy doesn't know how he was burned or what he was burned with. All she knows is he was found in an alley behind a man's house in Fresno, crying for help, and that the man dropped him off at the vet. KGW News spoke with that guy who said Phoenix had a hard time standing up when he found him.
He's a good puppy.
If this was at the hands of a human, Tammy doesn't understand why.
It has to be a really, really cruel person. I mean, to even think that somebody could possibly injure a puppy.
These days,
You ready? You ready to go for your bandage changes? Come here.
either Tammy or a volunteer will take Phoenix to the vet to get those bandages changed.
You ready?
It's expensive.
We're ready for you guys to come back if you want.
He needs them done about 3 times a week, costing her about $200 to $300 a visit.
So the sedation that we give him.
Because it's uncomfortable and painful to get them changed, he's sedated and won't feel anything other than the first needle poke. This is the 6th time his bandages have been changed since Tammy has had him. He's getting better. It's healing a little bit at a time.
Like that's a little bit of pad material that's coming back.
And as the burns heal, scars will remain forever on this young dog's feet.
So how many more treatments do you think he'll need?
Until all of this scar tissue has covered over his foot. I think we should keep going until then.
But even then, this puppy with the flopped over ears may still need
Who's a good boy?
a lifetime of care.
Who's a good boy? Hi.